Good morning, good evening, my lovely little dolls. We're continuing Don't Eat the Cashier because this is fun and I'm curious to know where it goes. Last time we had the lovely date with, one moment I'm in a surreal forest dining on purple goo with a mad god. I actually like the god. I wish to woo him, if it's possible. The next moment, I'm being praised by a multi-eyed tentacle monster. Maybe these are all just my deathbed hallucinations? God, give me back my bills, my noodles, my arguments with strangers on the internet. I'm going insane. Some part of me enjoyed these mad adventures. Let's go with that one. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Disgusting. Now, I have to deal with that too. In the midst of my contemplation, terrifying sounds emit from my boss's office. Unfair bills! Unacceptable large numbers! Of course. What else could accept him so much if not that? Steps. Another visitor. This one decided to come through the door for a change. Oh, is that blood? He seems unwell. I hope he doesn't knock over my shelves of shampoo with jojoba oil and delicate lilies on his way. He's not just unwell, he looks like hell. Literally. All the skin on the left side is torn from his jaw to his temple, which honestly isn't bad. Look. I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone could rip me apart if he doesn't look like what he hears. I need to be careful, I don't want to become his next victim. You look like the Terminator at the end of the second movie, buddy. The Terminator who just wrecked my entire floor gives him a thumbs up. How's life, sir? Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. When will the Lord take my sinful soul, break down in tears? You don't want to work here anymore. The whole setup feels like a personnel hell. Can't leave, insane boss, no hope. Kinda. Aside from the weirdos who waltz through the door, obviously. It's either the second one or the third one for me. Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter would look. How's life, sir? This is casual. Although we could give him the Terminator who just wrecked my entire floor. We could do the first one, I guess, 3. It's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. He lets out a gurgling, raspy laugh. There we go. Oh, we got a heart. You don't want to know what the other fighter looks like. Honestly, I really don't want to know. My inner archive label, I don't want to know this, is at risk of bursting from overflow tonight. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man without half a face. He clears his throat, but that doesn't help much. Oh, I need blood. Is he a vampire? He tries to smile. It would be charming if he still had all the necessary muscles for that. Now it will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. Sort of if John Connor was himself a Terminator, yeah. The client pauses again briefly to clear his throat. Okay. We don't do transfusions here, no IV drips, just discount rot. How about tomato juice, strong vintage? Let me see what we have. Ooh, either 3 or 4, I think it's actually going to be a good one. Or I guess second one would also work. How about tomato juice, strong vintage? 3. Aw. Are you fucking kidding me? I'll turn you into a pack of juice if you don't hurry up. He suddenly leaves for boring into me with his remaining eye. Nice eye. Go and find me some goddamn blood. Nope, I have no choice. Oh, is he hypnotizing? A strained pressure builds behind my head and the edge of my vision blurs. Unyielding command blossoms in the center of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel an incredible strong urge to find blood. Right now. Yeah. My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible, or is it just his own? I find myself in the storeroom, a tangled labyrinth of shelves reaching up to the ceiling stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. In the corner, something rustled and snorted suspiciously. So, where could the blood be? I need to think fast. He's not gonna wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Ooh, food for mouth. These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of the department entrance, there is some baby food for cyborgs piled up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Food afraid of heat. Infused natural flows. Afraid of heat. The coldest corner of the store because blood has to be chilled. Large freezer chest and refrigerator with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen pizzas are gremlin cryo capsules. Among them are buckets of ice cream, and you can find flavors like minty tritanium and liquid family. Oh my god. A huge freezer chamber. Spare parts of human organisms? Okay. This section reeks of formaldehyde and hoarder. Glass jars filled with murky liquids sit on the shelves where exhibits float. I try not to think about one of the containers holding a human name tag that reads Kevin. Oh, take blood of human organism, Kevin, taste of unfiltered dreams and unwarranted. Take blood of human organism, homeless, high K. Michael, taste of efficient resource. Efficient resources and artifact accumulation. Okay, it's either Michael or Kevin. Can't be homeless. Tastes of unfilled dreams and unwarranted expectations, taste of efficient resources and artifact accumulation, I think. Can I not accidentally go back? Okay, let's go with Michael. I love this. The blood in this jar has a rich, almost glow ruby hue. It looks healthy and full of energy. I love this sticker. Michael, whoever you were on top. Champion's blood flowed through you. You were probably something like an energy drink for the undead. And yet, here you are in a jar. There's something to ponder. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You, already? His voice carries genuine surprise and clear relief. Well, good thing you weren't wandering around for half an hour. Bring it here. Okay, we got on his good side again. My client finishes the jar and then grimaces. Ah, for crying out loud. What is this crap? He reads the note on the jar. Michael, well, you were a lucky guy, Michael. Too bad I can't kill him a second time. Tastes like a happy family, a successful career, and a retirement account, and this jerk probably never ever even had cockroaches. Let's stay silent. Cool that you found human blood. Good job. You're sharp. I'm glad to please you, sir, and glad you no longer wish to eat me. With that approach to business, you'll go far, babe. I'm going to wash my dirty face, don't get bored. While he's not here, I have the perfect opportunity to wipe away the blood stains. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. A wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody's eaten me. He's looking so much fresher, with the second half of his face. Although his expression still resembles that of a constipated owl. I just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. And just so you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head and crush you like a walnut. I'm David, by the way, a vampire, as you may have already guessed. Okay, so there's a lot of people whose names begin with the letter D. You know, I'm just kind of curious as to where this is going. So we have a jester, a mad god jester. And now we have a vampire. Lucky us. What an incredible, interesting way to start an acquaintance. Especially that part about the walnut. I'm Crystal, like champagne. Nice to meet you, I'm Kamari. Okay, Kamari. I knew a Kamari once. She used to trade kidneys in Venice Beach. She was a good girl until she got packed up. He's trying to provoke me. Deliberately sharing the dirty details of his life to see how uncomfortable I can get. I suppose I'm also selling some kidneys now. Check the catalog. Catalog, yes, exactly 10 categories. I think that's the best. A catalog? Do you seriously have a catalog? He leans forward, genuinely intrigued, peering into the catalog. Gremlin kidneys? Gremlin kidneys? Is that a delicacy? Why does it say both delicacy and fuel and animal venom? Because it's a universal product. Want some? I do. Looks like I found my best customer for today. Now I have a vampire here. He's regenerated. Generating. Wonderful. The main thing is to not accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. Thanks for not eating me, David. David lets out a quiet chuckle. There we go. The guy clearly expects people to be afraid of him. He might have looked lost when he first arrived here, but now, seeing my fear, he obviously feels right at home. We could just scare him away too. I've been trying. It's not over yet? Oh no. Although you're too bony. Rude. Look at me, I might be made out of porcelain. So maybe that's the bony part? And I'm sure you love to eat all that cheap crap, like instant noodles. People like that, their blood is just not tasty. Only if there's nothing more interesting in that blood. So you don't like glutamate and cholesterol? They're the tastiest things in the world. So sir, let's get one thing straight. I'm not food, I'm not for sale. So does alcohol affect vampires too? And other things? Why, got any suggestions? Oh, okay, you know what? We're gonna quickly save. Oh, of course, we have a fantastic deal of vodka today, only $10 for a case. Would you like some mouthwash after work? 1, 2, or 3, guys. This is interesting. I do like his character, although I do prefer him kind of scarred up because that was funny. We're going with number 2. David lets out a quiet chuckle. Oh boy. And how often do you flirt with people covered in blood? Maybe even after work, I wouldn't mind walking you home, especially if no one is looking for you. Yes, to answer your question, alcohol affects us, but you need a middleman. You find some junkie or alcoholic and pump them up. Then you get plastered and turn into the happiest vampire in the world. Okay, so I could have gone with the homeless guy. I think the homeless guy would have been better. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. Maybe not. Damn mutts. Probably not all the wounds have healed completely, and does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob would say it's mandatory. Let me help. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign. Homeless guys are attractive. Dang, I should have known. So foreign. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign and unexpected to him that it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. I mean, if this is the type of homeless guy you're attracted to, then by all means, chat, go right ahead. You what? Oh, yeah, we got another heart with David. You want to play nurse? A flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. Oh. It's just a couple of scratches and a little piece of ass that will grow back on its own. I'm fine. Just don't let yourself be treated. My boss will lock us both in a dimension of horror where we will be cleaning toilets with a fork for 2,000 years. I see. You're afraid of doctors, huh? Such a tough guy, yet scared of getting treated. You mentioned werewolves. It's probably not just a scratch. Let me help you, okay? I mean... Oh, boy. You know, all of them are good. You mentioned werewolves. I give him a chance to save face. Now we're treating him not because he's a wimp, but because he survived an epic battle. A direct blow to his ego. Oh, he's smiling. This guy immediately starts puffing up with pride. His eyes light up. There we go. We got another heart. I hope I didn't catch rabies. I decide to remain silent about how he's already pretty rabid. 4 against 1 in a narrow alley. You know, there's a myth about werewolves being a damn noble, unlike us bloodsuckers. Well, that's a load of crap. One of them was hiding in a trash can, ready to jump out at me. My heart would have definitely stopped dead if it even still beat. It would have just ripped apart from a freaking heart attack. I'm afraid I'll never be able to take out the trash again without fearing for my life. Judging by the distant look, he's plagued by flashbacks of what he's been through. David awkwardly moves his injured arm. Alright, hand over your first aid kit. I'm sure this won't be the last pack I'll have to take down. There are way too many stray dogs around these days. Damn you, go ahead. Yay. Get out your band-aids with Dr. Chocula, or whatever you're selling. Oh! Haha, we get a shirtless pic immediately. David sheds his jacket, shirt, and t-shirt, then settles onto a squeaky stool next to the counter. He is about to face a serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position for a few minutes. For some reason, cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he was just thrown into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, has quite an interesting past. Or maybe he was attacked by werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know that corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available to me now is in the coroner. I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's a heavy military-style metal box with a faded label reading "Kit for Alternatively Living Organisms." Inside, besides standard bandages, are some strange items. Silver tweezers, vitals of thick, glowing liquid, vials, additional fingers, and of course, an instruction manual. A cheap, laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instructions are the first point states: determine whether you are dealing with a zombie. Ask your alternative living subject if they ever wanted to eat someone's brains. David is not clearly a zombie. Move on to the next point. He glances skeptically at the picture flashing in the instructions as I flip it over. Zombie, necromancers, abominations made of bones, flesh, and cabbage swirl in front of his face like memorizing kaleidoscopes. And all of this lives in the city sewers? I don't know how you're going to use the bathrooms now. It would be great if you didn't notice that. Why do I have to deal with all of this? I steal a glance at my visitor. I wonder if werewolves just clawed him up, or if he managed to kill someone too. My instincts, something out of the Stone Age, suggest he could have. This guy has a killer gaze. You see someone like him in an alley, your hands automatically reach for your wallet and phone. I lower my eyes. Next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could werewolf leave? It's simple. You got lacerations, claws, teeth, and a bit of saliva. Possibly very contagious. David listens to this with the pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal of valor. Something like that. He said it as if he didn't care, but I know better. Stroke his eagle. Add to the end. Wounds from a real rabid beast, buddy. There we go. I'm dying of laughter. Haha. He chuckles happily, trying to hide a glimmer of pride behind humor. But I won't be fooled. David is no longer just a wounded sucker. He is a true gladiator, having survived a battle with a rabid beast. Absolutely epic. I read through what medication I need and grabbed the regeneration extractor for alternative living life forms. Now, all that's left is to apply the stuff. I dip my finger in the jars and... Suddenly, he grabs my hand. Do something wrong, I'll rip your tonsils out through your ass. Oh, stay in a calm, icy tone. Allow me to do my job, sir. I will be extremely careful. If you touch me, my boss will rip your soul out through your ass. You know, you have this fantastic talent for coming up with threats. You should write movie scripts for action movies. No way, I'm a pathetic, miserable, harmless cashier. The phrase of any faceless representation of the service sector, my perfect shield against the surrounding world and the rude vampire that inhabits it. Watch yourself, you won't get a second chance. No, not my vampire doctor license. Whatever will I do? Black goop. I apply the black goop on the wound, because, you know, that's sanitary. Oh, a puff of steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm. Not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your squid manager. I hope so too. That would be disturbing. Well, we all hope for that, buddy. Be more careful. My movements become slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching the skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscles in his back and shoulders relaxing slightly. He's still wound up, but relief is starting to wash over him. Oh, we got a hurt. Naturally, no thank yous or pleas from him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something to my ass every 5 seconds. Distract him with conversations. You know, David, every noble knight needs someone to tend to his wound after every great battle. What are you talking about? What knight, what battles? We got another heart with David. Yay. I fought in an alleyway. An alley stinking of urine against a bunch of dirty werewolves for territory on the outskirts of this godforsaken city. They tore up my pants, and I have to take a new pair of junkies who was lying in the puddle nearby. What am I? A knight of what? The knight of torn pants? You are the knight of my heart. Oh, you were a wolfhound knight. Oh, go to hell. We got another heart, though. David says this almost affectionately. It seems like we're making progress in our relationship. Oh, the wounds are gone. I finish up. Surprisingly, the wounds really are healing. The scars won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all this? The question is asked in an astonishingly serious tone because I don't want to be launched into a dimension cleaning toilets for 2,000 years with a fork. He's driving me crazy. Even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. I liked the clown. The clown was nice. Actually, no, he was a jester, not a clown. I just want to help. Lie, you want tips. I just want to help. I just want to help. Truth, you're an angel of mercy from the dirty gas station. Lie, you want tips and to go home, play The Sims, and watch stupid shows. Nah, I just want to help. Why? David is confused. In his system of belief, actions always equal benefits. I'm throwing a wrench into this flawless, long-running mechanism. Let's just say oh, goodness. You know what? Let's quickly... Sure, let's save that. We're gonna save that, and then... You know what? We can do both. It really doesn't matter. You know what? I'm curious to see what happens when we plus the second one. If it turns out bad, we'll go back to the first one. Oh, never mind, he likes that. Ha! I knew it from the very beginning, doll. You clearly have a few screw looses in your head if you get pleasure from this. I won't even bother asking what those fetishes are. Oh, I just want to sleep in my coffin without any nightmares. Oh boy. Alright, moving on, screw this. I honestly don't care what's going on in your head. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. He clears his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought he didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe, so I don't scare off this rare, exotic display of politeness. He says the words as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the case. Just a couple more seconds, and he's back in front of the counter. So, the client is fed, cleaned, and healed, and yet he is still here, not putting any money on the counter. The tip jar is lacking. This is the most ripped homeless guy ever. Yes, he is. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead he looks lost. David is in deep thought, in that dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. No. Can I do anything else for you, sir? This seemingly simple question stumps him. David frowns and looks past me for a while before responding. Yeah, you can do something. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. Oh no. Oh boy. I wonder by regular human, does he mean extremely natural essence? I'm no vampire, werewolf, or theming gnome. Or does he mean my lack of criminal record and abstinence of drugs or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for the perspective of an ordinary worker? A working class person? A gray collar? Does your face always look that funny when you're thinking about something? Oh. I don't even get a chance to respond to his jab before he follows up. Rude. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want. Do whatever you want. Where would you go? Let's just lower that volume a little bit. David looks at me expectantly. My goodness. Like a lot of things depend on who exactly you turn to. What weaknesses will I have? Yeah. Well, no more tanning, no reflections in mirror. If you were ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? You can enter without invitation. Oh, you can enter without with an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Okay. Holy water is trickier, depending on the situation. A stakes works, but piercing your chest would be quite the challenge. Piercing any part of you is quite the challenge, actually. Our skin is like steel, unless a particularly persistent werewolf comes along. Good to know. Well, at least you can enter without an invitation. No need for unnecessary chit-chat with people. David looks at me expectant. There's a lot. What kind of superpowers do vampires have? Fine. We'll do this one. A whole lot. Oh, we're practically a superhero league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind that in reality, bloodsuckers can be way scarier than in sappy movies for girls. Looks like he watched Twilight. Interesting. So, is the homeless guy gonna buy something? I hope he does. We gave him blood. Technically speaking, blood, and we patched him up, so he should be paying us. I do appreciate that he watches Twilight. Some of us not only drink human blood, but also capture people to experiment on them. They turn human bodies into a real nightmare of flesh and bone. Dr. Moreau couldn't even imagine. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make you work for them for eternity. Literally. Okay, Twilight is terrible, but it is funny. Like, it is good, but it's in a good, bad way. It's terrible, but it is also good. It's a cult classic for a reason. Seems like I already have one of those sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking his bills. There he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. Yes, okay, yes. Twilight is one of the so bad it's good. I've read the books, or I am reading the books. I'm slowly going through the series, torturously, since last year's Christmas. I also have the gender-bent novel Life and Death, which I am slowly reading as well. And there are those who can make your head explode literally with just a glance. Great. But not all of us are such wicked bastards. We don't even have to kill a person to eat. Just drink a little, instead of gorging yourself like a pig at the trough. Okay, but some don't care. They just drain all the blood and splash it everywhere. The forensic team is baffled why a person turned into a sprinkler before dying. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. You know what? Ooh, which one of these do you have? I got a decent list of things that I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it. You never get tired, you can party all night long. You're stronger than 10 thugs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf thugs. That might take some effort. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny bat. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. You feel everything. You see everything. You can hear a rat piss a block away. Oh boy! Yeah, let him continue. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. It's one thing to scare someone shirtless. But they give in just to avoid being harmed. It's another one they act with full confidence that it's what they want. They don't even realize that they're just vampire pawns now. Yeah, I think I get it. He pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. These are the words of someone stuck in a web of artificial connections and S-related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsions aren't the best foundations for a strong friendship. He isn't sparkling though? No, he is not. There we go with the first one. Even it's based on my ass, I don't care. If you're a bloodsucker, you live like this in no other way. In this snake pit, you won't make true friends. Vampires don't live on one big, beautiful house like in Twilight. They're like cowboys in the Wild West, constantly cutting and shooting each other, and blowing up houses. Dave mentioned Twilight again. Oh my god. Don't think I'm whining, it's actually great. It keeps you on your toes. You'll get used to it once you adjust. Oh snap, the game actually named Drop Twilight. Yes it is. Exactly, it's a great way to feel alive. You know, being a vampire cowboy has to be fun. Not so dead. You get it. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Back to your question. We're gonna wrap. Why did you watch Twilight? You know what? There we go. There's the question. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch emo crap. There we go. He name dropped Twilight. I hold a dramatic pause. He looks so constipated right now. David looks like a cornered animal. He stares at the floor, then the ceiling. Anywhere but me. Finally, he lets out a loud sigh, filled with disappointment and embarrassment. Fine, damn it, alright. I watched everything. He watched all 3 movies. All Twilight movies, watched The Lost Boys, Interviewing with the Vampires, Blade. Okay, so I've seen Twilight, The Lost Boys, and Blade. I've never seen Interview with the Vampires before. The idiot who bit me didn't explain anything beyond the basics, like don't go out in the sun, you little punk. I thought maybe these stupid movies had a clue, you know, hidden in all that silly romance and melodrama. Most of it turned out to be bullshit. I read legends, searched for info online. As you can imagine, all supernatural beings try not to give themselves away. But sometimes you still stumble upon bits and pieces. Or crazies, one or the other. My favorite, by the way, was From Dusk Till Dawn. Too bad vampires don't explode in real life. Okay, I do remember Dusk Till Dawn, but I think I need to rewatch it again. You still haven't told me if you sparkle like Edward Cullen in the sun. He takes in a deep, ragged breath. Oh, this is fun. I'm just torturing him now. No, we don't sparkle. Want to know what happens if I step into the sun? I catch fire in the sun, as if someone poured gasoline on me and lit a match. Oh, do you know what that smells like? Like fried chicken. It's a nasty, excruciating final death. Very brutal. Terrible. However, let me ask you one more thing. Go ahead, but hopefully it's not about Twilight. Okay, we're gonna wrap up the questioning and tell him about our decision. Excellent. He leans in a little closer. When suddenly, fun fact, Dracula doesn't burn in sunlight in the books. The sun only weakens and limits his power. Okay, that part I remembered. I hear a wolf howling. No! We talked about Twilight for so long, the werewolves are out. I don't even have time to blink before David vanishes. Now he's a little bat hiding behind the counter. Look at the little guy. Hello, David. He's now stuck to our wall. Listen up. Don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave or you'll feel incredibly shitty. Trust me, if you rat me out to that mud, I'll find a way to get out and twist your head off. The threat in his voice is completely lacking, mostly because this voice now comes from a very small, though angry, bat. This is funny. Hello, David. Look at the eyes. He looks like Crazy Frog. Werewolf. A werewolf is about to come here now. And the creature steps inside. Hello. Goodbye. Good evening, ma'am. Can I... This entire situation is just funny. A low rumbling bass, surprisingly calm and friendly. Can I pet you? I'm listening, sir. Okay, Eddie. Apologies for the sudden intrusion, Edward. You can call me Eddie. We're chasing down a certain pest. You haven't seen a vampire around here by chance, have you? You know, a young, bit scruffy, wearing a leather jacket. You see, here's the story. One of our pack nearly took out a vampire, sir, and his offspring a few hours ago. It was a tough battle. We suffered losses. We tried to attract them, found one of them, well, more like a pile of ash where he once laid. It seemed one bloodsucker offered the other when he was weakened. Their family values are quite lacking. It seemed patricide has occurred. David didn't tell me anything about it. Probably that's why he had all those questions about vampirism. He was trying to get advice on where to go next after killing his creator. But in a completely idiotic way. Oh, angry he has the eyebrows. You see, ma'am, vampires are parasites on the body of our society. They drink blood like mosquitoes, but unlike mosquitoes, they kill their victims by draining them dry. They languish in boredom and with their immortality, and thus destroy human destinies, play with them, torment them, and drive a semblance of pleasure for their suffering. They are devoid of true feelings. I look at David. Devoid of any feelings, he's shaking all over. So I would be extremely grateful for any help. You don't give David away. The bastard threatened me 5 minutes ago, but now he's small, trembling, and helpless. He's my bastard now. I force a smile and say I haven't seen anything. A quiet, peaceful night. Eddie examines me closely. He probably catched a faint scent of blood, but my calm demeanor throws him off. Strange. Well, okay, if he shows up, just give a whistle. We won't far away from here. Good night, ma'am. The werewolf goes off to his important wolf business. Great. David crawls out of his hiding spot. He could have turned me in. He stares into my eyes as if trying to peer into my soul and understand what it's made out of. Sunshine and rainbows. And that would have been a sensible decision. But I'm glad you're not one of those sensible ones. David says this with a genuine relief in his voice. He's grateful to me, and now doesn't quite know what to do with this gratitude. Give me a tip in the tip jar, please. He clears his throat awkwardly. So, what's the answer to my question? What would you do if you were a vampire? His gaze reminds me of a lost, frightened dog. Without a master, he's restless and can't find his place. What an advisor he picked. May the Lord help him. I take everything life has to offer. Travel, entertainment, new experiences. The world is full of wonders, and when you're immortal, all doors are open to you. Oh, he chuckles. Good. Oh? Still waters run deep and all that. Pity the road of adventure leads you to a stinking gas station. Maybe you're right. The world isn't limited to this lousy town. He says this quietly, almost to himself, looking out the window at the dark, empty highway. Okay, so if he was just turned into a vampire, there's a good chance we might have actually known him before, or at least passed him when he was still human once. Think about that. So if he just remembered there's something beyond his cage of alleyways and gangland showdowns, sorry. Here for future adventurers. Ah, more money, haha. David said goodbye and leaves. Gas station sinks into absolute silence. Well, that was quite an interesting encounter. I really could have turned him in, but I didn't want to. I survived another visitor. It seems I'm starting to get used to this job. Sorry, my tip jar is almost full. Yay. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it wasn't just a spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the crunching of gravel outside. What a weirdo. Save. Hooves? Oh, well, this is definitely not another vampire. The stranger leans against the counter, trying to look casual, but the way his tail twitches betrays his nervous tension. We're gonna override. Okay. Can I please? Haha. Okay, my lovely little dolls. We're gonna end it here. We're gonna try and do at least one of those guys, like one encounter for each episode. Yeah. So we're gonna be doing this instead of Criminally Yours, unless you guys want to continue that novel. So, if you guys are okay with that, we're gonna continue. Basically, we're gonna be doing one novel for both Tuesdays and Fridays. We're gonna be continuing basically one novel. And that sounds about right. Okay, so my lovely little dolls, that's going to be it for today. Don't forget to tune in for the rest of the week for more content. For those of you who get to see this later, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell in the corner, and leave a comment down below. I wish to know what everyone thinks. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Until our next meeting, my lovely little dolls. Bye-bye!